Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley is our guest this morning. Let's go on the record. She is front and center on all the major issues, a force behind the progressive movement, COVID relief, student loan debt, even the Will Smith Oscar slap. The Congresswoman has something to say on just about everything. Let's go on the record.
From WCVB Channel 5, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to OTR. I'm Ed Harding, along with News Center 5's political reporter Janet Woods. Great to have you with us this morning. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley is with us this morning. It's great to have you with us, Congresswoman. She's a Democrat, as you know, representing the state's 7th District. Now in her second term, she is a candidate for re-election in November. She's a member of the House Oversight and Reform Committee. She's also a former member of the Boston City Council. Great to see you as always, and it's great to see you in the studio. You know,
yes.
As our world tries to settle from the COVID situation.
Yes, good to be with you.
Thanks for coming. So we're going to start off by talking about what everyone is talking about at breakfast, lunch, and dinner these days, which is to mask or not to mask. The battle is still being fought in the courts right now, but how wary should we all be about getting on an airplane today, or should we leave it up to individuals to make the decision at this point?
Well, I think it's important that we just follow the science and follow the data. And certainly I understand that the impact this has had on our quality of life, and people have pandemic fatigue and are tired of masking. But as you saw locally, the Boston Public Health Commission is encouraging people to resume wearing masks indoors, because we've seen a 65% increase in the last 2 weeks. So I just think it's important that we continue to follow the science and follow the data and be vigilant. You know, still mask, distance, wash your hands, and take into account those parents who have children under the age of 5 who cannot be vaccinated yet, and also the many that are immunocompromised. And of course, this virus metabolizes different with everyone, which is exactly why I'm leading on the issue of long COVID. So we're still very much in a pandemic.
I do want to talk about the long COVID, but I do want to ask you, do you think the Justice Department, the U.S. Justice Department, is doing the right thing by challenging that federal judge's ruling?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our greatest wealth as a country is the health of our people, and so I think they're absolutely doing the right thing.
You mentioned long COVID, so let's go there. One of your big initiatives is helping those with long COVID. It's estimated, almost 500,000, 400,000 or so-called long haulers here in Massachusetts. So what kind of help is needed, and because of where you are and what you do, do you have the votes to move it forward?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to continue to fight for another COVID relief package and for treatment of long haulers to be included in that. But I've introduced a standalone bill with Representative Lisa Blunt-Rochester, also Representative Don Bayer, the Treat Long COVID Act, because I think, given the fact that conservative estimates put this community of long haulers at least at 8 million, and they deserve a federal response. And so our legislation would expand long COVID clinics through HHS. They would then give grants to local healthcare providers like our community health centers, who have been so effective in meeting healthcare needs for our most marginalized communities.
Do you think you have the movement, the votes to move that forward?
I think there's incredible momentum behind this. It's important that this community not be ignored, left out, or left behind. What I want this long hauler community to know, who have had their quality of life, their physical health, their psychological health so impacted, is that their symptoms are as real as they are. They deserve a federal response. Momentum is on our side. The White House just rolled out a whole initiative around long COVID, and I'm continuing to look for that data as well, because we can't manage what we don't know. So I think momentum is on our side.
So another big issue that's been a kitchen table topic for most families is an issue that you and Senator Warren have been working on for quite a while here, and as you've been fighting to erase the student debt loans. So far, President Biden has only given the debt for those in public service, and for the rest, he's extended the moratorium until the end of August. Is that the best that you think the president can do or will do?
Well, myself, Leader Schumer, and Senator Warren and I've been leading this fight in the House, have been calling for President Biden to use executive action to cancel student debt at $50,000 broad-based. That would support 80% of those in the lowest income brackets. And he can do this unilaterally. It doesn't require a vote from Congress. He has the authority. We lobbied him throughout the pandemic, and they heeded our calls to pause those student loan payments during the pandemic. And that was impactful for so many. People were able to remain safely housed, to purchase essential goods. Some people became first-generation home buyers. So if we've seen that sort of impact on people's pocketbook and their lives during the pandemic when we've put a pause on student loan payments, imagine what would happen if we were to cancel broad-based student debt by executive action at $50,000. An economic justice issue, racial justice issue, given the disproportionate burden on Black and brown borrowers. 2/3 of this $2 trillion debt is comprised of women borrowers. Black women owe 20% more than our female counterparts and 50% more than white men. So this is an economic justice issue, racial justice issue, and finally, I think it's an effective strategy to jumpstart the economy as we begin to round the corner and in recovering from this pandemic-induced recession.
I don't think very few people would argue with your arguments, but the question is, can you push President Biden to extend it past this August and perhaps even open it up so that all debt is erased for those outside of public service?
Well, again, this is the third pause, and so I think that proves that there is momentum on our side. This is the third pause on those student loan payments. We continue to advocate for broad-based student debt cancellation. Most recently, we sent a letter to the White House, and I had 100 colleagues, including some from Democratic leadership, who signed on to that. So I think that, again, momentum is on our side. We're closer than ever before to getting this done.
All right, we had runners from around the world finally returning on Patriots Day to the Boston Marathon and go from Hopkinton to Boston and 30,000 runners. So your post-disaster Mental Health Response Act would help those affected by the bombing 9 years ago, as well as the survivors of smaller scale disasters. Where is that bill right now?
Well, right now we're just, it's actually moving quite quickly. I think that we might see it marked up in committee and come to the floor for a vote in short order. But I've always championed the need for survivors, surviving family members of homicide victims to have access to supports, children in our schools to have access to behavioral mental health supports, given the trauma that they experience, whether it's growing poverty or food insecurity or fear of deportation, homelessness. And so now I've taken that to championing support for survivors of natural disasters and other large-scale events. And unfortunately, we see an increase of these happening throughout the country. So we're very encouraged about the state of this Post-Disaster Mental Health Act piece of legislation. I'm grateful for the survivors of the marathon bombing who partnered with me in the drafting of this legislation, and I think we will get it to the floor for a vote very soon.